How we doing, guys? Sam and Steve back here with this week's fishing report for you. Fishing's really starting to get good out there as far as the rockfish goes. There's been a bunch of great schools just out in front of us here, right off of Pedickery Point over towards Love Point, and the further you go down the bay, it seems the better the fishing gets, whether you're fishing towards the mouth of Eastern Bay. Lots of big schooled up fish, open water, deeper baits, heavier jigs. So why don't you talk about some of the stuff they're throwing out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, in terms of weight, you're looking at probably 3/4 to 1 ounce jig head. And then these 5-inch paddle tails or these jerk shads, these straight tails, either of these, very good options. Get jigging out there. They're doing really well on light tackle.
Yeah, and if you don't want to jig, you can certainly catch them trolling. Just make sure you're adding a lot of weight to your umbrella rigs and tandem rigs this time of the year to really try and get them down in that bottom 20% of the water column. That's probably where you're going to have most of the success. Trolling channel edges, crossing out towards the mouths of some of those bigger rivers has been really productive for folks. At least moving into the rivers and creeks, pickerel fishing has still been really, really hot. This is kind of the time of the year to get out there and do it. I know a lot of folks have been having success over here in the Magathie, the Severn, as well as the Patapsco. What kind of stuff are they throwing out there?
Right now, chatterbaits and then underspins are going to be great options. I really like these 2.8-inch K-Tex with the underspins. You can throw any sort of jigs, plastics, but I'm really liking the crankbait, or not crankbaits, chatterbaits and underspins right now.
Targeting some of those choke points in the upper ends of the creeks has really been productive for those out in the Magathie, catching some really big fish. It's not just on the west side. If you want to fish some of the upper tributaries on the Chop Tank and the Chester River, you're still going to see lots of pickerel over there. And if you want to venture out and try some of the mill ponds, there's tons of those on the shore. You've got Unicorn, Smithville, Johnson's, Leonard's. There's lots of different ones you can fish. We're fishing a lot of the same stuff, still kind of targeting shoreline. Some of those areas I like to push off the shoreline a little bit because most of those bigger ponds over there are going to be kind of 5 to 6 foot flats along it. So even trolling, the same baits we'd fish if we were casting can be really productive to kind of find some of those off the shoreline fish there. So lots of great options over there. And if pickerel fishing aren't biting, there's tons of bass fishing to be done.
Absolutely.
We're starting to slow down some of our presentations for bass this time of the year. I know we're throwing a lot of smaller jerk baits like this. This is a little X-Rap XR8. A little yellow perch color is a great pattern to go with for you. So moving down the bay a little bit, down towards the mouth of the Potomac or across the other side over in the Tangier. There's still lots of shallow water fishing going on. What kind of stuff are they doing down that way?
Yeah, rockfish are really good right now down there. You can get them in the shallows. They're still hanging around there. You can still catch some puppy reds or some specks. They're going to be moving out the colder it gets, but you can absolutely still catch them before they're headed out.
Moving down towards some coastal waters as far as out of Ocean City and out of the Mid-Atlantic, guys are still heading out to the canyons. They're catching a few mahi, stuff like that, but that's really starting to fizzle out. Most of the folks going out there and having success are pushing in towards those inshore wrecks, or they're either fishing on the bottom out in some of the canyons, tile fishing. Lots of big tile fish caught this time of the year, and if you push in closer towards the shore, the tog fishing has really been fantastic from everybody I've heard. It's a great time to go out and get on some of those head boats that are heading to Ocean City if you want to catch truly like a giant winter tog. This is the time to do it.
Absolutely.
Still a little bit of fishing left for some of the flounder and sea bass. That's going to start fizzling out, at least on the flounder side here pretty soon. But if you want to get out there and do it, this is kind of the time to do it before it leaves. So I think that just about wraps it up. Thank you guys, and best of luck out there.
See you next time.